because I want to confirm. I lost a friend, a brother, whom I want to confirm again. I used to confide in him each and everything at a personal level, at a family level, and even at workplace. The late was among the few people who could advise, and I remember very well when I joined the 9th Parliament as a young member of Parliament, Youth MP. At one time, the late sat me down and told me what to do and not what to do if I wanted to grow in the political career. We became more closer during the time when I joined the Parliamentary Commission. All viewers can confirm I worked with him for over 4 years. In the 4 years, we worked closely in the administration of Parliament as a backbench commissioner. And I want to confirm the country has lost a gallant son whom you can never, ever get any trace of corruption.
In the first place, what is making the late Speaker Oulanyah exceptional compared to the previous speakers in terms of his character and the way he has been conducting business?
In terms of legislation and in terms of chairing the House, the most important attribute of the late, he understood the rules of procedure and was strict as far as issues of the law are concerned. If the rules said that you cannot debate on a matter more than twice, the late could always abide by that. If the rules said that a member is no longer heard, the late could always insist that you cannot be heard on a specific subject matter. So for that matter, the late was also an intelligent and brilliant man who really, as we all know, he was a graduate of School of Law. And for that matter, he even taught at Law Development Center. He knew what he was doing. But above all, he loved his work. He loved being a legislator. He loved being a chair of that house. No wonder, every time the budget was brought before Parliament, the late would always make it very easy for a budget to be passed in the August House. And I remember, in almost all the 4 years, the late is the one who chaired most of the appropriation bills in Parliament. And I want to confirm this. He was also able to balance between the interests of government and both the interests of the opposition, which in most cases, people never understood it well. And he would always talk to most of the members of the opposition to always say that if you don't have facts, please don't debate. I remember at one time, the late had even started to champion. He had criticized the manner to which we used to debate. He one time asked, and it's on record and the answer which I want to look for, that if you look at the Hansards of the 8th Parliament, 7th Parliament, 6th Parliament, vis-a-vis the Hansard of what we today are discussing in the August House, there's a bit of a challenge. And for him, he thought there was need for us to go back and he challenged members to carry out extensive research so that whenever you appear in the floor of Parliament, you must be well informed, well researched, so that the readers of Hansard today and tomorrow will be able to come and make references to what we are debating. So as far as I'm concerned, the late was one of those who wanted Parliament, number one, to be closer to the people, but also one of those who want the quality debates in the floor of Parliament. So it's a challenge to most of us, and it's a challenge to our political parties, that we must at all times help, try as much as possible to give MPs have extensive research on each and everything we talk in Parliament.
His last appearance before the... Actually, there was a lot of opposition, some challenge from Honorable Mpoga when you talked about the charter. But however, the Speaker appeared to be doing it in a rushed way. If you compare his level of the work he exhibited, has he lived his exemplary compared to what the public expected out of him?
First of all, the public themselves knew the capacity of the person called Jacob Oulanyah. Why? Because Jacob has not started what he was doing today. Jacob started that quite some time back. If all recall, those who were with him in Makerere University was a guild speaker. But to address the subject matter, it is true, like you all know, that the Public Finance Management Act has a timeline at which the budget framework paper must be laid at before Parliament. For that matter, you all know that the late expected government would have brought the public finance, the budget framework paper before we broke off for Christmas, because he knew the law talks about 30th of December. So for that matter, the late was very, very strict, and specifically the leader of opposition had wanted to make sure that government lays that budget framework paper before, and I'm happy to report this. The late, that was his last sitting, was able to prevail over government, and I remember he pushed the Minister of Finance, and also specifically I want to thank my brother, the government chief whip, was able to follow it up with the government side to make sure that the government was able to lay the budget framework paper as per the time stipulated in the law. So I thank you so much. But I want again to say, as a person, I've lost a dear friend. I remember there are other things which I can't put on media here because I think before he became sick, he had 1 or 2 issues which I had shared with him, but it's okay.
Honorable, thank you very much for your time.